Hello everyone, in this video we're covering what should a beginner Web3 SDR do and know. This is the basics that are getting you to the job and basics that are separating you from the 99% of others. If you start doing this right now, you're in the 1% of SDRs. We're gonna cover responsibilities, soft versus hard skills, and mentality. Just by knowing this, you have a head start in front of everyone else in the competition who's gonna be applying for the same job, or people that are already working and they don't know about this or they don't do this. So, the first thing is responsibilities. Responsibilities is the thing that when you go on the different Web3 career sites, or you just think about what should an SDR do, they have a lot of qualifications, a lot of responsibilities, but in the bottom line, the most important thing that you are doing, you are prospecting, and prospecting is messaging to new customers, finding new customers, because you as an SDR, you handle the most important part of the sales cycle, which is the beginning of the sales cycle, the top of the funnel. And the funnel looks like this. You are managing the clients that go into funnel. If you send here 100 leads, and the conversion of your funnel is 10%, then you sign 10 clients. If you send only 10 leads instead of 100, you sign only one customer. So you are the most important person in this company. Even that you are a beginner, you have the most important role. And the whole purpose of your role is just getting prospects. Is prospecting like crazy. You need to get as much qualified people to the call to sell them your thing. And then the prospect is typically the business has the ideal customer persona. They say, okay, we're going to sell to NFT marketplaces and we're going to sell to HR leaders at NFT marketplaces. So NFT marketplace is your ideal customer persona. This is what your business tells you. And then the persona is the person in the company. So this is the HR leader. In your prospecting is going only for your ICPs and only for your personas. You don't focus on truck drivers in Iowa instead of focusing on HR leaders in NFT marketplaces. Is that clear? And this is the most important part. Like, if you don't prospect, screw everything. Like, it doesn't matter. It's it's gonna be very bad in your sales. If you only do prospecting, it's gonna be way easier for you to go through the sales, through the career. Then you need to do the research. You're spending time to find these people. Before messaging them, you spend time on finding and researching these people. And this is typically how I block time on my calendar. I have a block for prospecting, then I have a block for researching, for finding new leads and putting them in the list so I can prospect them and I can message them tomorrow. Then a big chunk of your time is also having discovery calls. Once you message to the person, what you message them about? You message them to get them on the call and to understand if you can help them with your product, with your service, if they're qualified to go later down the pipeline, if they're qualified to move down the cycle. So you're having this discovery call. After discovery call, a small chunk of your time is also maintaining automated outbound and inbound sequences. This is when you're messaging, when you're prospecting, when you're discussing, having communication with your new clients, with old clients, with the new prospects, with older prospects, nurturing sequences. All of this stuff we're gonna cover later down the course, starting next week. So guys, subscribe to Web3 Sales Gym right now, because there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff coming for you right now, getting you the basics of this amazing skill for doing sales in Web3. Next, you're also responding to inbound messages. You're handling inbound leads. You're handling emails, Slack messages from your team. This also eats some time. A good advice here is packing this. This is like low priority work. You still need to respond to messages, to emails, to clients. Sometimes it can be important. So you need to first screen every communication that you have. If there is something important, you reply as soon as possible. But if it can wait for a couple of hours or a couple of days, you can postpone it a little bit. You can create a certain blocks in your day, like for 20 minutes, when you go and you reply to every email or Slack message that you have collected so far, and then you move on. And then if your role includes a little bit of customer success, then you're also messaging current clients and ensuring they're happy. So you're not only prospecting for new clients, but you're prospecting for the current clients to learn if everything's all right, if they're happy using the service, what are their plans, and if you finding an opportunity, if you can upsell them on your new services, on your new stuff, on the things that they might need, but they don't know because you started working 1 year ago and you developed something new like only 3 months ago. So how do they know know about this, only by you telling them. And this also sometimes a part of the Web3 SDR role. These are the core responsibilities. Everything else besides prospecting and getting people feeling the top of the funnel, it's supplementary. This main thing is the main thing. If you don't do this, then you're not a Web3 SDR, you're a time waster. Next. The difference between soft skills for getting in a position and hard skills. And you see that hard skills, I'm not very good at hard skills of creating the presentation because this is not equal, but I think that the hard skills here are overestimated. So let's start with that. In terms of hard skills, what you need to do, you need to know how to build lists of qualified leads that you want to reach out. You need to know how to copyright the message, how to write the emails that's gonna get your people, because a lot of beginners, they completely screw this process and they send awful messages that nobody gets that nobody even reads, not even talking about replies. So if you want to know how to build lists, I'm going to show you step by step how I do this, like on my screen. I'm going to show you how to build lists. I'm going to show you how to create messages, how to what is the good approach for building the message that's gonna sell. If you want to show all of this stuff, guys, subscribing right now is the best decision, because it's going to be coming in October, and this is the part of the course. This is the most important thing that you will be doing in the beginner as an entry level in sales. And then you need to know your schedule discipline, meaning your time management, having blocks in your day, managing your time, making sure that most important stuff like prospecting, you always do it. Everything else, okay, you need to navigate it. Something can be postponed, something can be moved, but prospecting always. Then you need also to know the CRM management. How do you have an outreach at scale? Because the first day when you start sending messages to 10 people, that's going to be fine. But on the 30th day, when every day you send 10 new messages, it's very hard to keep track with everything. Who you are following up, who you need to message, when did you need to connect, and blah, 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 blah. All of this covers the CRM, and CRM management is a very important skill. Again, I will be showing you how to do this stuff properly and how not to waste time. And then you also need to know how to build automated campaigns. How do you build the outreach that not only manual, because manually, how many people can you outreach per day? Not a lot. But automated campaigns, they sometimes help you to do a lot of on the scale. So for example, getting in touch with 100 people per day, but you spent on this probably 10 minutes or 15 minutes. How you do this? We're also going to be covered in the course down the line in October. And then when we switch to the soft skills are way more important than hard skills, because hard skills can be learned like for 1 month with me on the Web3 Sales Gym. But soft skills, I cannot teach you to listen. I cannot teach you to handle a polite communication, like to pitch without sounding salesy. I can show you how it's done. I can tell you the basics, but you need to practice for this stuff. You need to practice listening, practice communication, practice pitching, that you are not sounding salesy. You need to know how to ask good questions. Of course, I will provide you with a few examples of very good questions, how you ask, how you unpack the pain that the customer has. But doing this and acquiring these skills requires repetition, and it requires mastery. This is why you are in a Web3 sales gym. This is gym. You not only learn the knowledge, you need to apply this to real life. You need to train. You need to train empathy. You need to start networking as soon as possible with different people. How we do this, I already made a lot of videos about this stuff, so check out the playlist that I'm gonna link down somewhere here. Yeah, and it's good opportunity for starting unpacking what I already was telling, but we're also gonna cover this down the line in the course. So stay tuned for this. Subscribe to the channel right now. And the third final element of this video is mentality. If you have because what differentiates good SDR from a fantastic and amazing SDR is their mentality, because they can hit the same numbers, but the good SDR, he doesn't have a good mentality and he is easier to break. And the great SDR, he is resilient to the changes. He knows that always prospecting equals having a big fat pipeline. This is the thing that solves all of his problems, and probably the problems for his business if he has in the sales process. Because if you have more customers to try certain thing with, this is better, because the chance and the odds that you close at least one of 20 customers is higher that you close at least one of every 5 customers, right? Then the next point of mentality, when you're preparing for the call, a lot of people stress a lot. The most important thing that you know about handling call with a customer, that even if you blow the deal, even if you blow this call, you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna die after this call. Like, nothing changes. If you blow the call, go and find 3 similar customers to the one that you have blown the call and start messaging and outreaching them. This is the best cure that I ever heard that can help people to overcome this fear of messing up on the call, of saying something wrong. It's okay. People make mistakes. And if you do this, what you need to know, you just need to put more prospecting. Prospecting solves all your problems. Then the third thing is, I'm here to work, learn, and overachieve my quota. This is the attitude of top performance. You're not here to waste time. You're not here just to wait from paycheck to paycheck, from hour to hour. You're here to work, to learn a lot of stuff, to learn as fast as possible, and overachieve your quota. Because you aim for achieving your quota, it's less resultable than if you aim 20% higher. Then the chance that you at least close your quota is way higher. So because you already aim too high. This is the most important thing that you need to adopt in order for quota performance, and never be afraid of quota again. You need to try just the first experiment, like first iteration. In the beginning, when you are not unexperienced, it's a very common mistake when people start thinking about, okay, I want to do this perfectly, so I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna try, and you're just building something, you're doing something, you're not showing it to anyone because you want to make it perfect and only then show to anyone. This approach leads to, because you're inexperienced, the chance that you will make something good is very low, so you'll make shit. So it's better to do something, do the first iteration and put it for the feedback online, and then after you get the feedback, you start improving this thing down the go. You need the first iteration. The first iteration is the best iteration, and then you just improving the thing that you have for the second iteration, third iteration, fourth iteration, and you're gonna go to a certain thing, to a good message, or to a good copy, to a good campaign, to a good ICP list. You need to start put out somewhere, put the first thing, and once you have the first thing, you can update it, you can learn faster, and you will have a better result, way better result. It's also okay to suck in the beginning. Only by practicing you become better. This is the people tell you, everybody tell you this. I'm not gonna be different, but where I'm gonna be different is that if you're sucking and you are not improving, then this is probably your problem. This is on you. This is not on anyone else. This is on you. Then you're working not enough. Then you're not understanding something. That something is broken in your mentality. Because if you do everything that if you just follow the script, if you just follow everything that is outlined here, you are getting to success. If you're not getting, then you need to understand what's the problem on your end. There's also 90% of success on the call comes from preparation. Also helps to deal with the problems of fearing the call. If you prepare for the call, you're not afraid of the call. And you need to start building your Web3 network as early as possible, especially for salespeople. Go to conferences, network with people, go to different Telegram communities, go there, go for Twitter spaces, go for different DAO meetups. You can meet people everywhere, and this is the most important thing that you and sales can be doing, because more people you know, easier for you to outreach, easier for you to build connections, easier for you to build trust, easier for you to sell. This is the most important thing. This is the mentality of top 1% SDRs that are selling Web3 services or products. Now, how you can get there faster? By training. So as a home training, write down in comments which skill you want to learn the most. It's going to be important for me, so I understand where I can focus more of my emotional intelligence, of my skills for crafting the presentation and for adapting the course for those needs. Second, write down. Always prospecting equals having a big fat pipeline is a solution to all my problems. This is your sales mantra. This is your sales cure to every problem. If you're bad at something, just prospect more. If you're bad at closing, prospect more. If you're bad at talking, prospect more. This is the thing that will help you to solve any problem. This is the cure to all illnesses. And write down all mentality section here. Everything that you see here, this kind of like the SDR rules. Write this down on a sheet of paper and read it at least once a week. Once you are having this, you are getting closer to becoming a great salesperson. And now, when you know all of this stuff, imagine you're already this person. And now imagine you apply for a position. Do you get a position or not? Of course you do. You get the position because people need people like you. They know that you can learn all these hard skills that you can tell that I've been watching Web3 Sales Gym with Nikolai. He's my bud. Like we're talking with him like once in a month. So like I'm the best pick for you, and people will not even think about not giving you an opportunity. They're gonna consider you as a solid candidate. You're gonna be crushing your Web3 sales squad. I'm telling you. I was looking for a person that had told me this before, and there is a lot of mentors in my life where I was seeking this information. For you, it's gonna be easier. You have the video. So what you need to do right now, go and hit these tasks. Next week, we're covering the list building. We're covering at first the theory, and then we're covering the practice. So guys, what you need to do right now, you need to subscribe to the Web3 Sales Gym. You need to smash the likes, and you need to be super excited about what's coming up front, because this is the change that can bring a lot of good and positive into your life. Let's go. See you in the next video. Bye bye.